snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. This is the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first NFL mock draft for the 2024 season, or 2024 to 2025 season, brought to you by the Pigskin Project. I am Ryan Matthews. Right below me is Ben Hansen, and we are going to get started with this. So I'm going to be picking with the odd number teams, and then Ben is going to be picking with the even number teams. So just about 16 picks per person, and we will do trades as well. So let's go ahead and get started with it. Bears on the board. I'm going to go ahead and draft Caleb Williams because that's what makes the most amount of sense. At this point, it's set in stone. Let's do it.
I mean, are you sure you don't want to go Marvin because this Fields trade hasn't been processed yet?
It hasn't been processed yet. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Bears fans are delusional. All right, let's get it going, man. What are you doing?
Yes. The big debate right now at number 2 with Washington Commanders isn't what position, it's what quarterback. It's really been between Jaden and Drake pretty much this entire time. A lot of people like Jaden. I'm not quite there yet. If you guys listen to the podcasts that we also do, you guys know that I'm a Drake May guy. Pretty easy for me. Pretty easy choice for me. I'm going Drake May.
All right. The Patriots, I've heard that they like Jaden Daniels here. So I am going to go ahead and take Jaden Daniels for the Patriots here at number 3.
Yeah, keep it nice and chalk. There's a chance that they go Marvin, but, if I'm a Cardinals fan and I'm the Cardinals GM, I'm thinking my lucky stars that you didn't go Marvin because you made my choice a whole lot easier. You made my pick a whole lot easier. We're going Marvin. Nice and easy. I mean, nothing really much to say about it besides getting the best player with the 4th overall pick. Can't really knock him for that. That's for gosh darn sure.
Not bad. The Chargers, they traded away Keenan Allen to the Chicago Bears, and word has it that a lot of NFL GMs and scouts have Malik Nabers over Marvin Harrison Jr. on their draft board, and I think the Chargers would absolutely like Malik Nabers to fall to them at this point as well. Number 5, I don't think it's traded here. Malik Nabers, welcome to LA.
Lion season, folks. It's Lion season. That's for gosh darn sure. So now this is where it gets really, really tricky as a Giants fan. We obviously we have trades available. As the Giants, I am totally okay staying here and picking my guy at quarterback. But there's a line. My phone is ringing. The Broncos are calling. Broncos. What are we giving? Or not Broncos. Not Broncos. Vikings. What are we gonna? We have the quarterback that you want right now, and we are fine taking him. What are you willing to give me to move up to
exchange? Now this is where it gets interesting because here at the Pigskin Project, since I have the odd number picks and Ben has the even number picks, we are negotiating on behalf of these GMs. So, as the GMs of the Vikings, I am willing to offer you 11 and 23, as well as a future 4th for number 6.
If you want to scroll down to my picks here, if you want to change that 4th to a 3rd, and I'll throw in my 2nd next year, we'll call it a deal here.
Yeah, I'll do that. No problem. We'll go ahead and force that trade.
Nice.
So, since the pick's still at 6, we're not going to complicate anything. I already know where you're going with it anyway, so let's go ahead and do it.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll let you pick with the Vikings because the Vikings are your team and you're the GM
That
of
makes
them.
sense.
But
That makes
yes,
sense.
we all know where we're going. Let's be honest.
So, J.J. McCarthy, welcome to the Minnesota Vikings. Next up at number 7, the Titans. Now, they've made very, very good splashes here in free agency.
Oh, yeah. I think this is where the draft
they can
starts. This is really where the draft starts.
This is where things start to get a little tricky here. I think that they could use some O-line help because Will Levis is going to need some time in the pocket. He is a pocket passer, and protecting his blind side is going to be a lot of help here. So at this point, it's whether or not you want Olu Fashanu or Joe Alt to me, because those are my top 2 guys. And right now it's Joe Alt, so you got to take him here.
Yeah, I mean, you're the Titans. Just continue to build up that team around your rookie quarterback. A quarterback on a rookie contract is probably the best deal you'll get in all of sports. Obviously, depending on how good they are. I mean, you hope that they're good. But just continue to go and build around that rookie quarterback and continue to help them along that offensive line. You drafted Peter in the first round last year. He played like the best offensive lineman that they had. Might as well go and get the guy that he's going to play alongside.
Yep.
And Joe Alt, who, in my opinion, is clear best tackle in this class. Can't miss. Brock Bowers is another pick, but go and get your own quarterback some protection here. The Falcons, man. This is where This is where it gets tough because let's be honest, if you're the Bears, the Falcons are between 2 guys. They're between their edge rusher and Rome. And whoever you don't get, most likely, I could be wrong, but most likely the Bears are going to take the guy that you don't end up selecting here. This is tricky here. I'm probably going to end up just going defensive lineman because they made all those moves for wide receivers, which, like, I'm not a real big fan of any of them, but Falcons fans love to do that. Falcons fans love to say we don't need to take our wide receivers anymore. So we're not going to go that route, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to go and get an edge rusher. I'm kind of trying to decide between if I think this is going to be a nice little mix of predictive and what we would like. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with what I think the NFL and the Falcons are going to do here, and I think that's going to be Dallas Turner. So, Liatu is my favorite edge in this class, but something about Dallas Turner really screams something about Raheem Morris. That just seems like a Raheem Morris guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can see that. And I mean, just because I'm a huge fan of Dallas Turner. If you guys haven't listened to our podcast, this is the same exact channel that we put on all of our podcasts. So we did talk about the edge rushers this week. So if you'd like to hear about our top 5 to top 8, edge rushers in this class, give that a listen, and you will understand why we made that pick. Next up, the Bears.
Are you accepting offers at all? Are you hard set on? Are you hard set on your guy, or are you willing to accept an offer?
This is one of those moves that the Bears have to make. This is a very big and deep wide receiver class, so I fully expect, and this isn't necessarily what I would do. Now, I personally think that they should draft. Go ahead and trade the pick. Gain some capital. Okay. And who's listening? Who's calling?
There's a few teams here that are calling, but the first one, and we're gonna get nice and funky with it. Like I said with you guys, this is gonna be a little bit of having fun. This is gonna be a little bit of us kind of leading the way. Now, I don't think at all that this would actually happen. But I feel like having fun, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
We are going to be... Oh, no. Wait. Oh, no. The team I wanted to trade with was the Colts, but I'm evens. Never mind. I wanted to be the Colts. I want to trade up for Rome. But I'm not the Colts, so I can't trade up for Rome.
That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. I think,
Okay.
I mean, what are the odds, right, that somebody's calling up for Bo Nix? I mean, given he is a little bit older, what are the odds that, say, the Giants at 23 or even 11, you know, like the Bears can recoup, they'll trade back, and let's get a quarterback for the Giants. I wouldn't hate that move. Or, you know, let's say, I mean, I'll even say this, just because, hey, this is our first one of the year. I'll let you negotiate on behalf of the team that I would be controlling. You can negotiate on behalf of the Colts to get Rome.
All right, yeah, we're gonna get funky with it. I want Rome Odunze. I want someone that I want my wide receiving core. Obviously, Rome kind of plays the same style that Pittman plays, but I'm to move back a whole 6 spots, which is, I don't want to say is not like a nothing, but it's only 6 spots. I will give you 15 and 46 right now. I know you need more draft picks this year because you have a whole lot of freaking nothing. You got 4 picks. Yep. I'm offering you a 2nd-round pick, which is something that you don't even have, just to move back 6 spots.
I would say throw in 151, and that's a deal.
Sure.
Yeah, just because the Bears are probably going to want later draft picks. So go ahead and do that one. And then the Colts.
Getting funky here. Like, this is just not going to happen, but we're going to have fun. Might as well start off real fun. Robo-Dudes, I mean, come on.
It makes sense.
Getting our guy.
And then you're on the clock with the Jets at pick number 10.
Yes. So now the question here with the Jets is, do we do the fun pick and Brock Bowers, or do we do the smart pick and draft an offensive tackle? I just had my fun with the Colts. We're going to go ahead and redo the smart pick. For me, I am kind of already at the point that Fuaga has passed Olu. I'm going to take Fuaga.
Spicy. Love it. Next up for the Giants. Now, the Giants were praying that Rome Odunze somehow, some way fell to them. But luckily, this is a deep wide receiver class. And, I mean, you could see a Brian Thomas fall to 23. So
A.D. Mitchell
might not be looking at him. So, I mean, looking at their other needs here, they do need O-line. They do need, other players as well. Their secondary, I mean, took a pretty decent hit this offseason because of the, Xavier McKinney leaving. But, I mean, you're looking at this board, and, I mean, they did recoup some draft capital and everything as well. Darren Waller's thinking about retiring. So, I think I'm going to go fun here, and I'm going to say Brock Bowers.
I love it. I love that pick. You need a pass catcher, and Waller's about on his way out. Might as well go with your big slot that is Brock Bowers.
And I know he's another first-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can even go ahead and get like A.D. Mitchell at 23. Anyways, as Broncos, Broncos fans are probably sick of hearing this because this is probably what they get mocked to all the time. But you guys need a quarterback. You guys are going to go Bo Nix. It's quite that simple. You're going to get your quarterback. And you guys are probably like, I want to see something different. I know as a fan with my Birds, I get pretty frustrated when I see the same pick all the time just because it gets boring. But sometimes boring is the way to go.
Yeah. Raiders, I mean, they were kind of hoping that something fell as well, but unfortunately it didn't. I think they need
a lot of directions here.
I was going to say, I think that they need some O-line help.
Offensive line,
and I think Olu's going to be the pick here. So Olu to the Raiders.
Yeah. Not to spoil it too much as well, because we'll get into it in later episodes of our podcast. People are really high on Troy. Fatnow or Fatanu, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce it. Wild to me that people have him going like top 15, but that's besides the point. No, so as the Saints, I'm real disappointed. Olu was the guy that I wanted to fall to me. I just talked about Troy not going in the top 15, but You might have to. The guy I was targeting was Olu and Brock. Yeah, Troy. I guess you are you're a saint. I guess that's just the way the draft board falls. I mean, it's funny. I was just talking about he's not a top 15 pick, and here I am drafting top 15, right?
Yeah.
So
the Bears are right here with two of the best corners on the board, right? And obviously, they have recouped a little bit of draft capital. Instead of 4 picks, and they've used 1, they have 5 remaining. Okay. Yeah. However, I'm gonna pick up the phone and ask what the Eagles would want to trade up, and see if they're at least interested in getting your choice instead of waiting the whole 7 picks.
Yes. As an Eagles fan, obviously, I kind of want my Birds to get a corner, but I'm going to take a little more than a 4. Well, the way that the way the board is falling out. I mean, we're 15 picks through, and a corner hasn't been taken. For those who are avid listeners to the podcast, I think there's a top 4, and then I think there's a bit of a fall off between there. But there's a guy that I'm willing to trade back at the back end of the first round and take. Cough, TJ Tampa. So I am not super pressed to trade up to get my pick. So I think we called. Maybe the Bears wanted too much, and we decided to hang up, and we're okay with 22.
That's fair.
I wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Lions, which you probably don't want to trade in division with, but
to win the division.
Indeed have a desperate need with someone being arrested and no longer can't be found. Like, he's just lost. Yeah. We don't know where Sutton's at. Sutton's kind of just disappeared. I don't know if we want to trade that far down with a division team to go ahead and help them out, but they might be willing to pay some nice.
What about the Bengals here? So, if I'm the Bears, I'm trying to trade back again. That's where I'm at, because
I think
right now,
if you're the Bears, you got lucky that Byron's falling for you guys. You guys are desperate in need for a 3-tech, and Byron plays so much like Grady Jarrett, a young Grady Jarrett. And if you can get a young Grady Jarrett for $3 million a year,
here's where my mind's at. Okay, not linebacker. Edge rusher. So you've got Jared Verse and Latu. That'll definitely be there if you're trading into this range, right? If you can hit on somebody that needs something in this range, that would be willing to give you maybe a couple extra picks, or
the tricky and that's the tricky thing with it. As much as you want to trade back, are there going to be any teams that are willing to trade out?
That's the thing. So that's why I'm making phone calls and kind of shopping this pick around. That's why if I'm the Bears, I'm asking the Eagles, hey, if you can have your fair shot at your starting corner for one of your second round picks. That's all that it'll take.
No, well, my thing is I don't want. I'll like my pick. There are 4 corners that I healthily feel that I would totally be okay drafting it with the 22nd overall pick. Now again, I'm the Lions, and I will trade up with you. I don't know what the Lions are, but if I'm the Lions, I'll trade up with you. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it?
Yeah. Here's what I'll do as the Bears. You talked up the defensive interior, and the need for Byron Murphy. However, the upside of Latu is too much. I'm taking Latu here.
Wow. Byron was awesome. All right. You had mentioned a guy very early on. The biggest need for Seattle is interior help along that offensive line. It's a mock that I pretty much make on every mock. I kind of need to stray away from doing that. And I promise you guys, I will not make this pick next draft. Well, because I won't be taking the Seahawks. It's Jackson Powers Johnson. It's Jackson Powers Johnson. It's very easy. It's the biggest need. Jackson Powers Johnson is very, very good. And there's obviously, interior offensive linemen are now valued. I mean, you have interior offensive linemen signing contracts up to $100 million. Cough, Robin Hood. So
yeah. The Jaguars, let's face it, a couple years ago, they drafted an edge rusher at number 1, and it hasn't necessarily panned out the way that they wanted it to. Jared Verse is right here. This is a guy that you could definitely get. And then you've also got defensive backs on the board that look very, very good.
An outside cornerback for him. Outside of Tyson Campbell, no.
You've got a decision to make on if you're high on Cooper DeJean or Quinion Mitchell or Nate Wiggins, even Terrion Arnold. But at the end of the day, I do think Quinion Mitchell's stock has raised enough to where he can get drafted in the 15 to 20 range. Give me Quinion Mitchell to the Jags.
Oh yeah. No, Quinion Mitchell, is my favorite quarterback in the class. That's for sure. So if you're the Bengals, you're really, really happy that the board fell the way it did. DJ Reader left in free agency, so you now need help on interior defensive line, and now you get your choice of Newton or Byron. I like Byron better. Newton's just as Newton is kind of falling down boards because everyone likes Byron, but Newton is a top 32 player in the class and should go in the first round. That being said, I do like Byron more. We're going to go ahead and take Byron.
All right. For the Rams, they were crossing their fingers and their toes that Byron was going to be there, just because Aaron Donald just left. They just signed a corner, hoping that they could fill that void, so maybe they don't go that direction. Did they take Newton here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Johnny Newton, I think, is that good. I think Johnny Newton is a very, very good player. I just think people are so enthralled with Byron that people forgot about how good Johnny Newton was.
I'll go Newton here for the Rams just to fill that void. But Byron Murphy, man, if he was that close to being a Ram. That's it.
Yep, right. No, as a Steelers, you're pretty happy the way the board has kind of played out. For whoever your quarterback's going to be this year, you don't really have many weapons for him to throw to outside of Pickens, and you have a couple really good wide receivers on the board to pick from. But the guy that I was hoping to fall here did, and that's Brian Thomas. Pick is pretty easy for me. It either would have been that or a cornerback, and Brian Thomas is still on the board. So
yeah. For the Dolphins, this one, to me at least, is a little difficult to pick. This is a very good team. This is when picks and mocks start getting kind of difficult, just because of the history here.
Robert Hunt left. Armstead is old. Armstead might be out, and you still have some good offensive linemen on your board. You have your choice of whoever you want as offensive tackle, whether it's Latham, whether that's Marius Mims, any of those guys. So if that's the route you were looking, which I don't know if it is, you still have a nice little options here. So,
and like you had said, Armstead had definitely said hey, I'm going to be playing this next year, and so I'm sorry, I just blanked on his name. Anyways, JC Latham is the pick here for the Dolphins.
Yeah. See, and Eagles are on the board of 22. This is exactly why we did not want to trade up with the Bears. We kept our second round pick, and we basically get our choices of quarterback. Now this is where it gets really hard. Do we like Cooper DeJean? Do we like Nate Wiggins? Do we like Terrion Arnold? I don't know.
Could have had Quinion Mitchell though.
What?
Could have,
but I'd rather have Terrion Arnold in the second round pick than Quinion Mitchell. That's besides the point. I don't know where this Cooper DeJean hate is coming from. It's kind of came out of nowhere, and people are he should be picked in the first round. I have no clue where that's coming from. I'm not going to take him. He's my cornerback 3. I would, if Terrion Arnold wasn't on the board, which is who I'm going to go with. I would have gladly taken Cooper DeJean at 22, but Terrion Arnold's here, so we're gonna pick him. For me, it's Mitchell and Arnold and everyone else.
Next up, the Giants are able to pick up a wide receiver here in Adonai Mitchell. They need help in that wide receiver room bad. So
yeah. And my pick here it's still nice and easy. The big thing, obviously, you want to get Dak help. And one of the best ways to do that is to continue to build your offensive line. Tyron Smith left, and Amarius Mims, who is my tackle 3 or 4, is staring me right in the face. really easy pick for me.
Next up, the Green Bay Packers. You know, that's where I'm looking. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
You know,
because I know you love Jair Alexander so much.
I do, man. He sucks so much. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Cooper DeJean. They're gonna continue to kind of stock up on the secondary here this offseason.
Yes. All right. So Tampa, I had edge is a big thing for me. Edge and corner. It's just as much as it is. Who do I value more as a player? Is it going to be Jared Verse or is it going to be Cooper DeJean? But what are we going to do now, right? Cooper DeJean is gone. So you made my choice kind of easy for me. Jared Verse. Thank you.
Next up, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, just to refresh you, they picked Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 4. So,
yes,
for number 27, they're looking at, maybe a little bit of O-line help, maybe a little bit of secondary help. And right now, Nate Wiggins is looking me dead in the face. And I think that the Cardinals could go ahead and pick him.
I like it a lot. Yeah, if you were the Buffalo Bills, you were really hoping. The number one need for you was getting a wide receiver. You were really, really hoping that A.D. Mitchell was going to fall to you, and he did. If you want to go ahead, I want to see what wide receivers are on the board. I don't think I want to get wide receivers. Yeah. But
this is fun, but
Nah, not. That's a little bit too rich. Did Worthy already get drafted? What?
No, Worthy's down here.
Oh my gosh, they have him low on this board. Now, yeah. See, I don't want to do that. Offensive line was the next pick for me, but there's no one that's really there. In this situation from the Bills, and I don't think I'll do it just because it's kind of hard to find a trade partner with the two of us. But honestly, in this situation, the way the board has fallen, I'd probably look to trade out. I'm not going to say that's going to happen because I don't think it will. You know what? We'll go ahead and do it. I would try to trade out. We can't. That being said, I know that I don't have any safeties there now. Both of my starting safeties in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are gone. Let's go and get someone who's going to go and play safety, and we're going to go and get Tyler Newton. A safety, especially in this class, going that high is a little rich for me, but the way the board fell out, that's the way I'm going to go. Let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and drop in those comments.
Next up for the Lions, this was a pretty decent team, but their defense needs work, in my opinion. Looking at it from a Bears fan's point of view, they did lose to the Bears. And so, this is something to where it's like, wow, like we let that offense beat us. And defense is definitely a point of emphasis for me if I am the Lions. So the number one thing that I'm looking at is corner, just because they did just get rid of one due to a lot of different instances. I'm sure everybody watching this has heard. If not, then do some research on him. So Kool-Aid McKinstry finds his way back into the first round because I've seen him fall out of certain mocks, and his draft stock is kind of plummeted. But Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Lions. Hopefully he's back by training camp.
Reunites with Brian Branch too.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of rebuilding that Alabama secondary there. All right. As a Ravens fan, Morgan Moses is on his way up. Daniel Falele, a guy that I was high on, is now going to be your starting offensive tackle. I don't know if I like that. It's basically, at this point, do I want to take an interior guy in Greg Barton? I know he's listed as tackle. He's a guy that has a five position versatility. He can play left or right tackle, left or right guard, and center if you need. I wouldn't want to put him at center, but he could do it if you needed to. He has that versatility. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, with his arms, I think he's going to be an interior offensive line. So it's a matter of, do I want an interior offensive line or do I want an offensive tackle? And with us shipping out Morgan Moses, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and get myself an offensive tackle, and we're going to go with Tyler Guyton.
All right. Next up, the 49ers. Oh, man.
Works out for you here too, huh?
I mean, oh man, I'm confused here. So like, no. I guess you could look at tackles, just because. I mean,
Honestly, anywhere along that offensive line outside of Trent, and Trent's even getting old himself.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and take Barton here.
Yeah, that Niners offensive line, guys. But I mean, I think we like Trent, and we're like, Trent is so cool, even though he's kind of like a jerk and like ends people's career. Cough, like Vander Esch. That's besides the point. We look at Trent, and we're like, this is so cool, but the rest of their offensive line is garbage. Like, it is not good. Like, at all other 4 positions, it is bad. So, honestly, at this point, it's whatever offensive lineman falls to him, they got lucky Barton was on the board. We're going to go ahead and wrap up mock draft 1 with 32 overall. The Chiefs just got
Marquise Brown.
The Chiefs just got Hollywood Brown. Rashid Weiss kind of popped off. There's no wide receivers that like really stand out as a need for me. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do it. They just traded away a corner, so it's much more of a need for them now. For those who watch the podcast, I am enthralled with a late round corner, or with a late day 1 corner. Ryan has him pulled up. His name is TJ Tampa. I love TJ Tampa, and you just traded Snead. So we're going to go ahead and get my guy, TJ Tampa, because I think he's awesome. So
there you go.
Yes, we got funky with it there with that Colts. Again, I want to preface it. We're doing this for fun. This isn't a predictive mock. That's why we did it. I don't think there is a world in heck that Rome actually that the Colts trade up for 9 for Rome. But that's what mocking's all about. It's just having fun. I mean, for gosh shaking, mocking. I mean, let's be honest here. It's just about having fun. Good first mock. I liked it.
Absolutely. And we just want to end it off by saying thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you had seen and you like our analysis of every single pick, please go ahead and follow us on any or all of these socials. We go live every Wednesday at 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern, for our podcast, where we release it every single week. We're up to 106 episodes, so go ahead and tune in and drop us some in the comments to see what you thought, if you disagreed with your team's picks. This has been the Pigskin Project, signing off for the first NFL mock draft, and we'll see you guys next week for the next one.